It's the UK RLE tomorrow, so you know what time it is. We have bold predictions. Before I jump into my bold predictions for the top 16, let's just review the UK RLE from Season 1. It feels like forever ago, but Grant Padley won the tournament with Air Giro over Connor Chilton, who was piloting Order Fourth Kind. It was a pretty interesting top 16 where we had 3 Air Giro, and this was the RLE where she finally took it down. And I believe, let's see. No, okay, I thought there were more in top 4, but there's only 1 Air Giro in top 4. And this was the RLE where Order Shigaraki 3 topped. We had a few very well-known players. Of course, Philip is the one that got second at the HLC with Air Giro. We had Nicholas Reagan with Evil Endeavor 2. Justin Martin, who just got second at the Gen Con RLE. Top cut with a Chaos Tokoyami. And Luke Quincy, who got top 16 at the Webcam RLE on Good Mirio. Top cut with Earth Endeavor. So I kind of wonder if Luke is going to stick with Good Mirio for another RLE and run it back. And those are just some names that stood out to me. We also had Declan with like a Death Shigaraki 1. We had Kai with this really cool Earth Kirishima 2, showing that he's still a very, very viable character. Just Greg with a Life Momo. It was a very, very fun event last time around with over 100 players. I'm hoping that we get another large UK field with a similar diverse top 16. Oh, and how can I forget that Brett, the Dobby guy, got top 16 with Mina 1. I am very excited to see what Brett brings back this for tomorrow. All right, let's jump into my top 16 for tomorrow. This is what I believe will make it. I think we're going to get a fourth kind on Order again, a Midoriya 4 for life, which if you've been following my channel, you know that I have been kind of slandering Midoriya 4, but I feel he has been seeing the representation, and I feel like the UK RLE is going to be a smaller field than the last few RLEs, but I do think Midoriya 4 will still see quite a bit of play, and so I think this is the RLE where we're actually going to see a Midoriya 4 make it into top cuts. I still don't think he could win, though, but I do think we'll see him in top cuts. I've got a Giro on Air and a Giro on Good. I've got 3 Mirio Togatas on the Good symbol, a Midnight on the Void, Mimic on Evil, Nomu on Earth. Oops, we're skipping 11 here. Hopefully it comes back to it. I've got an Ochako Uraraka 1 on Life, Nejire on Chaos, Overhaul on Earth, Overhaul on Evil, Overhaul on Life. I am going for the Overhaul trifecta here. This might be a little bit too bold, but yeah, let's get the, what do you call it, Neapolitan ice cream. And then I've got Shigaraki 3 on Order. So this is my top 16. I think that we are finally going to see Midoriya 4 and Nejire make top cuts. Nejire under this aggressive Chaos, twisting Azure Inferno line, double jab pummel, and Midoriya 4 on the Life symbol playing a more defensive build than the last several Midoriya 4s playing Good, where they're just trying to go aggro, but they just don't do it as well as like Mirio and All Might 3 on the Good symbol. But on the Life symbol, I do think he's quite viable. So this is my top 16, and let's jump into some very specific bold predictions. So you'll have noticed that I had 3 Mirio, I had 3 Overhaul, and I had 2 Giro. That makes 8, being just those 3 characters. So Overhaul, Mirio, and Giro will make up half of top cuts. So it's going to be like a fun top cuts on the other characters, but it is definitely going to feel like these 3 are pulling away as the top characters in the game. And I think they're just going to further cement that status as these 3 are the characters that you mainly have to be prepared for. Yeah, they have this perfect I'm not saying they're... I believe that they're the strongest characters in the game, but they're followed very closely by All Might 3, Eraserhead, Momo, Recovery Girl, and characters like that. But I just think these 3 have this perfect intersection between popularity and strength. So not only are they very, very strong, but they're also very, very popular. And Overhaul and Mirio, of course, are set 5, so they're the new characters and, the new greatness. Okay, I asked on my social media pages on Facebook and Twitter, I asked if anybody had bold predictions for the upcoming RLE and that I might highlight someone's bold prediction. So here I have Rostos on Twitter. He responded, Void Midnight will make top 16 and begin her march to nationals. She plays repeated 100% Smash amazingly and plays into repeated smash well enough with her speed reduction and solid void cancels, which if you remember watch my video from a few days ago where I said let's beat repeated 100% smash, like 75% of the cards that can beat repeated 100% smash are on the void symbol. And of course, Midnight can either give it -4 speed or +4 speed by committing a foundation. Very, very, very powerful. So I decided to run with this. I felt like it was the perfect mix of bold because we haven't seen Midnight yet this season. And we haven't seen a Midnight on this punch package, which I've started building like 5 decks where I go, okay, I'm going to 4x repeated, 4x rejuvenating, and then I don't know what to do from there. I get bored and I move to a different character. So I haven't played this deck yet, but it makes sense, right? Because since Midnight's discarding cards and drawing cards, Midnight is, hold on, where did my, oops. She is getting the free momentum from Rejuvenating Smash. She can give her Rejuvenating Smash 3 damage. So first, here's the big benefit. She plays Rejuvenating Smash, she draws 2 cards. Then she gets to cycle those 2 cards. Then she's getting the free momentum, and then she can use the momentum on things like repeated 100% smash or a million other things that can be done. So I definitely think this is the makings of an amazing deck. Of course, since you're not getting cards like Summon Dark Shadow on the Void symbol, and of course that's a bummer, but you are getting repeated 100% smash, which readies your stage anyway. So very, very interesting. But I think this is going to come over Void Eraserhead. Void Eraserhead saw this huge resurgence in play because everybody's been playing Mirio. Well, we saw at Gen Con everybody wasn't playing Mirio. And so I think there were like 10 Eraserheads at Gen Con and only 1 made top cuts. Whereas in the webcam RLE, we saw like, I want to say we saw 9 Eraserheads and 3 made top cuts. So Eraserhead went from a 33% conversion ratio to a 10% conversion ratio, something around there. I do think like a Void Midnight could put an Eraserhead in the sideboard, or like a Void Deku 4 could put Eraserhead in the sideboard. But I'm getting the sense that we're probably not going to see as much representation on Eraserhead, at least at the UK RLE. Probably he will be coming back at the future RLEs, but this is just my hunch that we might see a drop-off of Eraserhead for this event. And that's not, I think Eraserhead is one of the strongest characters in the game right now. I'm just saying for this event only, I think we might see a small drop-off. Okay, my other bold prediction is that Tabe, Fat Gum, and Sir Night-Eye will all lose on win and in games in the final round of Swiss. I think that we are going to see a ton of set 5 characters. I think Tabe, and I think all 3 of these characters played very well. They're like fringe level characters to me. They're like B-, C+ tier characters where if you play them really well, I can see them making top cuts. And I do think that they'll see the representation. I just wasn't bold enough to actually put them in my top cuts. So I'll go ahead and say that they'll lose on win and end games, which is another way of saying I'm cautiously optimistic about these 3 characters. All right, and then I think the Order symbol will see a small resurgence. I had Order 4th Kind and Order Shigaraki 3, both making top cuts this event. And I think Order is still very, very strong. And we get some cool cards like Challenging the Fakes is fun against Overhaul, because as soon as he uses the Overhaul enhanced he's going to play from the stage, you can use your Challenging the Fakes and then, eat that attack and then give the next check -2. You can use like Hero Killer against Overhaul to, if he builds from his hand and he's building an attack, you can Hero Killer and get rid of it. Or if he builds if you're playing Life Overhaul and he builds like a Passing the Torch, which is a very, very important card for Overhaul, you can go ahead and get rid of the Passing the Torch. Cards like Making a Stand for Anti-Mirio and Can't Escape Me can cancel like Lost in Thoughts and Hardened Jabs. It can cancel Rejuvenating Smash. There's just a lot of, and Dissolving the Conflict can send a repeated 100% smash back to hand. Tape is going to take Mirio's attacks back to mid. So there's a lot of very, very cool things that the Order symbol gets. And, just because stun has always been the name of the game for the Order symbol and selective committal and things like that. And we've seen stun take a turn for the worse with all the stun hate that has come out, like looking for a challenge, keeping Ares safe and cards like that. But I still think the Order symbol has lots of tricks up its sleeve, and that we'll see a small resurgence at this RLE. Okay, finally, what you've all been waiting for, the winner. And before I tell you the winner, let me just say, I did say Eraserhead would win the webcam RLE, and he did. I had the wrong symbol, but I'm still taking a win. And then I didn't do an official bold predictions video for the Oceanic RLE, at least to my knowledge, but I did predict top cuts, and I said Good Mirio would win, and he did. And then for the Gen Con RLE, I said Life Overhaul would win, and he did. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm 3 for 3, and I really want to go 4 for 4. So I predict the winner to be of the 2023 Season 2 UK RLE, Good Mirio Togata. You knew it. You know it. I love this character. I believe he's amazing. I think he's a ton of fun. I think he's being slept on as much as you can. I guess you can't really sleep on this character, but you know, that's my prediction. And so I want to take it a little more bolder because this doesn't feel bold enough. I'm going to say that the winning list for Good Mirio of the 3, the one that wins, is not going to be playing any copies of Back Alley Haymaker. Again, unless you're going into a stun heavy package, the stun 2 doesn't really mean anything these days a lot of the times. Sometimes it does, but it feels better when you're doing a stun heavy package. You know, you're combining this with cards like Heroic Strike or something else also with stun, or, you know, you find 2 or 3 Back Alley Haymakers at the same time. But Mirio, he does get a lot of stun options, but I think he's probably played better away from the stun options. So I think that the winning list will not be playing any Back Alley Haymaker, and in its place will also be playing a Punch with a high block. The other problem with Back Alley Haymaker is that it's a mid attack, and most of Mirio's attacks are mid, and so it just feels bad sometimes when things get canceled or when cooperation offers get activated. But I think that the winning Mirio list will instead be playing Rewind Throttle, which of course in Mirio is a 5 whatever you want it to be for 5. And that's just the start, because if you get Mirio of the Lemillion of the big 3, then it's going to be like a 5 whatever you want it to be for 7. And then if you further, you know, use a Raiding the Villain's Hideout, it's going to be 5 for 9. So it more than makes up for being only 3 damage. And you get discard 1 card, commit 1 Rival Foundation, which in Mirio you're drawing a billion cards. That's not really that high of a cost. And selective committal is so much better than stun 2. Selectively committing 1 and getting rid of the defensive piece that your rival has up. And then of course it's going to replace that card and have you draw a card. So I think that the winning Mirio list will be playing Rewind Throttle instead of Back Alley Haymaker. That's to make this a little more bold, because it doesn't feel quite bold enough. And that is going to do it. Mirio is going to be king of the overseas RLEs. He's going to have won the Oceanic RLE, and now he is going to win the UK RLE. And then we will see if he can do the trifecta and also win a US RLE at either Las Vegas or New York. But you heard it here first. Mirio Togata will be your UK RLE winner.